Alright. Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Blithesome Wisdom channel. Today we have another Conversations episode with our guest Josh. Josh, how's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you
Good.
today?
Good, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem, mate.
So, Josh is just a young man that I work across the street with. We wanted to discuss music on today's topic, so we're going to get to know Josh a little bit better, and then we're just going to dive right into it. So, Josh, tell us about yourself a little bit, and tell us, what kind of craziness made you want to come make an episode with me.
To start out with, I'm 16. I'm a music producer. I started making music in 2018, I believe.
All right, on, so 4 years still.
Yep.
Dang, man.
Yep. And I'm finally making good music now, which is outstanding because I've always wanted to do that. And mainly what just got me to be crazy enough to do this with you is because, well, trying to get myself out there a little bit more, Plus, it seemed like a good idea. It sounded fun.
Right? It is a lot of fun. It's just practice. Even though maybe 5 people will see this, it's still good practice.
It takes time.
It does. It takes time and it takes repetition. That's one thing about music is it takes a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And people, some people think that they can just pick up a guitar and be good at it right away. And that's not how it works. The best in the world definitely spent well over 10,000 hours on their craft. And I can actually vouch that the music he makes is quite good. But what genre of music? So I would say there's like 100 different genres of music now. What's your genre specialty?
Well, I like to make rap instrumentals and hip hop instrumentals.
Heck
mainly,
yeah.
but I like trap instrumentals and all that other stuff.
Right on.
Stuff with
so more of
bits.
a little electronic style, and then more of a hip hop style.
Yes, it's like a mix.
Right on. Heck
Yep. It's a lot of stuff with bassy stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been curious, and thinking a lot about the evolution of music, and how back in like Mozart's time and Bach, and how music for generations of that time, the classical music, I mean, yes, each composer was so unique and profound in their own way, and they sounded different, but music back then didn't necessarily evolve like it evolved today.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, classical music was exactly that, classical music. Nowadays, you have country, jazz, hip-hop, electronic, and then a million different subgenres in the electronic category, and a bunch of different subgenres in rock and roll, and it's, I'm curious to see your unique perspective on the evolution of music, and why out of all music you have really settled on hip-hop.
Mainly, it was so back when I was a kid, I used to love like AC/DC, all those other bands way back then, because my dad listened to it, and that's what I grew up with.
I can't do it.
It was good. I loved it. Yes, it was especially Back in Black, but
Back in Black.
yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was a little better.
And so I kind of just the more I got older, the more in my teenager years, I heard more and more hip hop / rap music. That's where I kind of just started slowly switching over, and then I'm like, hey, that's what I want to make. And so I didn't have any experience at all, and I'm still not as experienced as, I'm no professional. But it started out with me. I'm like, I'm going to do something about this. Because one of my friends, he started making beats, but I don't think he's doing it anymore. But I'm
I gave up on it.
Yep. I'm like, I'm going to try this. And so I went online, looked up a whole bunch of other things, like searched everything, a lot of searching, and finally settled on FL Studio, and it was the demo.
Oh.
And it's...
Fruity Loops?
Yes.
Okay,
yep,
yeah.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just settled on the demo for a bit, and I started working, watching a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials, downloading as much free stuff as I could, because
Dude, that's
expensive.
The best way to get it started. Like, I'm glad that you're laying it out in detail like this, because this is what it takes to do something you're passionate about. it's not just easy. I mean, gosh, you really got to work for it and be determined, and that's why I was so grateful to have him as a guest today, because that is the work ethic he brings to his passion. And he's got the good musical skill to prove it. Hopefully, sometime soon, he'll be able to make me an intro and outro music set, and he will be fully credited with it. Give us a few months. We talked about it a few months ago and got the idea for it. We just haven't sat down to work it out yet. So, here soon, by Josh, we'll have intro music and outro music within the next 6 months or so. Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll make it do. I'll
Dude,
make it
that's
happen.
what's up. We're excited. We'll all be excited. So, what kind of, or what influences, like, what is your favorite group, or your favorite handful of artists? Like, if you had a top 5, what would your top 5 be? And would it all be hip-hop?
I would say it wouldn't all be hip hop because there's several artists that are good. Like, man, I could go on forever.
Heck yeah.
So I'll name 3 trap artists and 2 rap/hip hop artists that I've been listening to recently. Because I don't know necessarily about favorite rap artists, because I just go with the flow. So my favorite one of my favorite rap artists would be The Baby. He's been one I've been listening to a lot recently. And who else? Let's see here. I'd say NF, but he's been kind of going on and off for me. And then, so trap artists, I got Hope X. Let's see here. Who else? Noixus and then Noax.
Ooh,
Those guys are
yeah,
good.
I know that last one.
Yep, those guys are good. I love them.
That's what's up, man.
And those guys are who I get my inspiration from.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I could go on and on, but yeah.
Yeah, in a very similar way, I can relate to how it's damn near impossible to bring a top 5 to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I listen to so much music and so much good music that it's just like, I mean, it's almost comparing apples to oranges. It may fall under the category of music, but I'll be damned if I don't listen to things at the far end of each spectrum. And so, yeah, it's almost impossible for me to make a top 5 too. But there's, like, if I had to pick albums that I couldn't live without, or I would take to a deserted island with me, I think the first album in my roster would probably be Linkin Park's Reanimation. I think that's one of the best albums ever made, and it's literally perfect. And it brings in that rock and hip hop all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just super good. Linkin Park was the very first music group that I took on for my own liking.
Mm-hmm.
The heavier version anyway. And then on the electronic side, I really, really got into Eiffel 65 as a kid. The I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da. You know that song?
Yep.
Yeah, man, that was my jam when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I've had several jams as a kid. There's videos that my parents have took of me, and
Yeah?
I go back and see them back when I was like 10 and 5. Those are something else to watch.
Performing the concerts for your parents?
Yep.
Dude, I used to do that too. Thank God it doesn't exist anymore. But there was a video of me. So I was singing track 2 on the Eiffel 65 album Europop, and it's called Too Much of Heaven. And I was wearing my headphones, these big ass fucking fuzzy headphones, and standing in the middle of the living room in my jammy clothes, which was an oversized t-shirt and silk shorts, singing Too Much of Heaven, it'll bring you underground. And like, I kept trying to hit it so perfect, and my mom was laughing behind the camera so hard, but she did a good job not to let me catch her, But you can hear it. Like, and then the camera shakes because she's just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that movie was going to be held against me for the rest of my life, and an actual torture thing. thank God something happened to it, and I think the VCR ate it or something. But yeah, man, I can totally relate to those moments where you're like, I'm gonna be a rock star for my parents.
Yup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that even in this day and age. I'm gonna continue to make music and stuff because that's what I like doing. And who cares if there's haters? You know, just ignore them because they got no power over you because you don't know them in real life.
That's exactly right. You don't ever let somebody have power over you. You know, let them think whatever the fuck they want. That doesn't affect you or your ability to get things done. So I'm curious. Being a person that's made music for so long, do you have a DJ name? Or a DJ name is probably a bad way to say it, but do you have a music identity? And do you have visions in the future for a company? And if so, what would be the name behind those productions? Like, what is your musical identity?
So, back when I was a kid, and like back when I first started in 2018, I started out with this name. I named it Polar because the gas station has pop. And
Yeah.
on the cup it says Polar Pop, and so I just took away pop, you know. And so that was my name. But I'm thinking about switching to like different naming it Catchy or something like that. CACHI.
Oh, there you
what I was
go.
gonna make it because I've checked and there's no names that are named that yet, and it sounds like a good rapper name.
Should do it with a K.
KACHI. Yes, I could try that. Yeah.
I like
it.
Yeah. I like it though. That's what's up. Now, would you stick primarily, like, you know, Eminem, he makes rap. DJ Dean, he makes trance only. There are very, very few people out there who dabble into multiple genres as a profession. If you were to chase it as a true profession, would you mainly stick with hip-hop, or would you go into the electronic genres?
So what I would do is I would try multiple genres, which is what I'm doing already. I'm trying a whole bunch of different ones. Like I've tried future bass. I've tried pop, some pop music because that's what my sister likes. I'm trying to make music for her and stuff.
Like that.
And I tried orchestral music. It was okay. And I tried like a mix of orchestra and trap, which was kind of cool.
That would be cool. I like that idea.
And so I would just try. I'm trying so many different genres right now. I know I've tried one called Russian hard bass.
Yeah?
I've heard of that. And I like added my own switch to it as well, like a trap / Russian hard bass.
He said that, and the only thing that went through my brain instantly was.
Oh, yep, coming from those like, you see all them like off-roadings.
Okay, well, let's try this again. Yes, we had to restart and reset. I need a new camera. It's just a cheapo one to get started, so yes, for the second time in a row we had to start anew. Anyways, I had just left off asking you about which genre you were most passionate about in pursuing. Would it be, as a profession, would it be hip-hop? Would it be electronic? You know, would it be some subgenre surprising like country? What genre would you pursue, and why?
I would probably pursue the more hip-hop / rap, you know, that genre. But I would occasionally go out and do other genres just to get more viewers, you know.
Like, would you try any genre?
I would try any genre. Yep.
So you play instruments as well, right? And in trying any genre, is there like a crazy one that you'd want to get into?
A crazy one as far as
like instrument and the style of music that instrument plays. Is there a wild one that you're interested in or passionate about?
I would have to say like probably it's a subgenre. It's called hard trap. It's basically like mosh pit type stuff, you know,
Okay.
like it's like a mix of like electronic and like mosh pit type stuff. It's so good.
What about your favorite instrument?
My favorite instrument would probably have to be like sitar, or like a plucky instrument. You know, like I lean more towards the like Japanese type side of things because
Okay.
I see a lot more potential in that, in those types of instruments, and they're good. I like them.
Now, do you like, so when you said Japanese, you like the higher twangy pitches, kind of like, an example like a banjo? Do you prefer that sound over like the boom, 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 boom bass of a cello or a bass
Yeah,
guitar?
probably like the I know one. I think it's called a shemazin or something like that,
Yeah, okay.
or a kodo.
A kodo?
Those are those are good ones.
Heck yeah, I'll have to check those out. I don't think I've ever heard of either of those, but that sounds interesting. And they're stringy instruments?
Mhm.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Um, let me see. I had a question for you, and I forgot what it was. What is your favorite song, and why is it your favorite song? Why does it mean so much to you? Being a person who enjoys music and produces music, I would imagine you attach a lot of memory and a lot of emotion
Mhm.
to specific songs, as do I.
Mhm.
What's your favorite song, and why?
So right now, my favorite song is by Mozart. I gotta look it up again. Um, yep, it's an Apache remix, but it's by Mozart. It's called Lacrimosa, I think, or something related to that.
Lacrimosa.
Yeah, something like that. Um, but there's a remix
I'm just
by
gonna make sure this is still going.
Apache, and it's good.
Okay, I think we're still good, buddy. Sweet. Alright, Lacrimosa, a Mozart remix by Apache. Check it out, everybody. It sounds awesome, especially Lacrimosa. Tech
Mhm.
9 did a Lacrimosa remix, and it's fucking awesome. So, check it out,
Mhm.
you guys. Um, let me see. You know, I've been thinking, to kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent, a different subject. I've been thinking a lot lately about how humans are so unique in the fact that we make music.
Mhm.
There's not another living organism that I'm aware of that genuinely makes music. Now, yes, birds sing, whales sing to our knowledge, and sometimes maybe it's just for fun. You know, like there's the story of the lonely whale that sings at a different frequency to all the other whales, and it's like the most lonely whale in the world. Have you ever heard that story?
I have not.
Oh, it's so sad. It's heartbreaking. Uh, but we're the only beings that we know of that can genuinely make music. Like, to take it and develop an instrument and just, oh my gosh, man, the massive catalog of different instruments that exist in the world is just mind blowing, and some things that sound so beautiful. Like some of the crazier ones are like there's an instrument. It's spinning glass crystal bowls that you play with wet fingers, and you play it. It sounds like a crazy organ piano. Like, there's just so many crazy instruments out there. And I wanted to catch your perspective on, maybe, have you ever thought about the fact that humans are the only beings out there that we know about that makes music, and so many different genres of music and cultural music? And, have you ever thought about that human experience?
So as far as making music and developing instruments and like playing them together accordingly, I would say that yes, we are the only humans or animals that can produce it. Because say you give like a monkey a guitar and like another one like
A
sticks to
drumstick.
yeah
Yeah.
to play drums, you know.
They can
They're
bang, but
yeah
they're not going to be
yeah,
organized.
and then they're gonna probably use it to fight.
Yeah, probably, most likely.
Yeah, just start sword fighting, you know. But
So, my second follow up question to that part of the subject is, uh, you know, I really, really like to fantasize and think about aliens. You know, our universe is so fucking impossibly big with trillions. I mean, you say trillions and your brain can't even comprehend trillions. It can't. Our brain isn't meant to understand that deepness of quantum physics or the bigness of the universe. But what do you think about other, like, say there is aliens, what do you think would be their form of entertainment? Do you think they would make music? Do you think music is solely a human passion? Because music is very much emotional, you know, very much communicating emotions through sound. And do you think that, you know, aliens out there would make music, and what kind of craziness do you think their instruments could potentially sound like?
So as far as that question goes, I think um, it it's so hard to wrap your head around all that because you don't know if they can talk, if they talk to each other like tele- telepathy or whatever it's called, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and or like if they even talk at all. Like they could use hand signals for all we know.
Right.
But they could also come up with their own instruments. But it's so hard to wrap your head around what it would sound like though, because it could be a sound you've never heard. Like
Mm-hmm.
how are you supposed to know what it sounds like if you've never heard it?
See, that part right there is just so fun to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's an experience that we may never, ever, ever get to experience at all. And it's just so fun to think about all the possibilities. You know, there's a lot of people out there get grounded in their beliefs, and um, as I grow older, I'm learning to not be married to any of my beliefs. That I genuinely want to embrace the idea that every possibility is genuinely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that idea rather than oh, well, that can't be done and that can't be done. Well, fuck that.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly. So, I love that. And the part of that is also, part of that evolution in myself is also evolutionized my music taste. You know, I used to be very only like a couple of different things or something very, very specific. And even lately, I've been discovering new music. Like, I never thought I would get into like old Southern country.
Mm-hmm.
That it's actually his name is James and the Shame, and he's actually Rhett from the Rhett and Link duo Good Mythical Morning.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's making a country album, and it's fucking awesome. It's just super good. And the last song that he released was him about, you know, journey of him and his wife. And as a kid, I could never imagine, or even as a teenager, man, a teenager with a punk ass attitude, like, I never could see myself genuinely loving those kinds of songs and tearing up over something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not married to one genre either, as I can see that you aren't either.
Correct.
I like to see that you have a passion for combining different genres.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's an idea for a combination you don't think has necessarily been done, but that you really want to try and pursue?
I want to say like orchestral like rap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you got those like the orchestral instruments, but it's also got like a modern feel to it. Like so, it's like a mix of old time and like modern day. So you like add your hi hats, percussions, your rides. Uh, they all sound good mixed together in my opinion. Like if I can just imagine it right now, imagine the orchestral and then the modern day stuff. You mix them together, it just sounds so good, especially with lyrics that you add on there.
Heck yeah, man. I like it. And I like to hear the passion you have about blending things that a lot of people 10 years ago would consider taboo. oh, that doesn't belong with that, and that doesn't belong with that. Well, you're gonna prove wrong. You're gonna make a great album one day. I can feel it, man. So, if there was one song that you could recommend to the world, like, or what would be a song that means something to you, that you could sit somebody down and listen and have them listen to it and they would know you 10 times better? What's a song that describes you?
I want to say, I don't want to go too far back to Mozart, because I'm going too far
Dude,
back
it's
to Mozart.
any song. If you feel like that song has a piece of your identity, that song expresses a piece of your soul and means something to you, it doesn't matter when it was made. It doesn't. That's you.
I'm gonna go kind of modern. I'm gonna say DJ Snake, "Lean On."
Okay.
If you've heard that,
I actually haven't.
It's a good song. It describes me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's just, it talks about like loneliness, in my opinion, from what I've understood of the lyrics, and it talks about just having someone to lean on. You know, it's really good. I like it. I think it's a part of the tropical house genre.
Okay, right on.
So it's yeah, something you listen to on a beach.
Now, covering the loneliness part of that subject, I'm curious. Do you find music to be, well, at least personally for me, I find music to be just uncomparable to anything else tool for mental health.
I would say, yeah, that's the best thing to, like, say, if you're feeling extremely angry, just make a stinking hard ass beat, you know? Just make something that's gonna knock the viewers away, you know? Or if you're feeling sad, you know, make something like "Lean On," you know, that's a good song.
Absolutely.
If you're feeling happy, you know, make something upbeat, you know? It goes on and on.
Just express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, the emotion will come out behind it, and most likely connect with somebody else.
Yep.
Now, one of my last questions for you today on this episode is, if there was one thing out there that you would tell the world, what would you say? What's a message that if you could tell everybody all at once, what's the most important thing that you could say to somebody?
I would say, if you have a dream, follow it, because I started making music in 2018, so I was 12. If a 12-year-old can make music, I think anybody can. Like,
yes.
As long as you're willing to put in the work, put in the hours, you know, and spend a little bit of money, you can literally get what you want done.
Absolutely. Nobody ever started making music and it immediately sounded good. It takes practice, and the greats out there have done it all their lives. I mean, I like all genres out there, but there are some of those ones, the goats of their genres, and they're so inspiring to me. So, like, for example, Eminem is one of the best lyricists of all time, and that's another thing, is rap is kind of an English language invention. I think that rap is seriously tailored to the English language, because you can't really rap and rhyme in Chinese the same way that you can in English. I think rap was seriously made for English, and I love that. So it's kind of a little selfish love. But, like, he literally overdosed and fried his brain and then taught himself how to do it even better than he did before. But he did it non-stop. God damn it. What the fricker? I guess so. Well, he did it non-stop, Jimi Hendrix, man, he didn't put down that guitar for nobody, for nothing. Mozart, or Bach. Bach went motherfucking deaf.
Mm-hmm.
The dude had to feel his music. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just, it's very inspiring to me to see these people buckle down and pursue, and that each one of them will tell you, you know, not one of them got by with it being easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, I listen to their stories and their journey, and it's amazing the discipline they were able to keep on themselves to accomplish these amazing goals. So one of my last questions for you is, who are some of your idols that inspire you to work as hard as you do and keep your passion alive?
Now that I'm thinking about it, one of them is Tech Nine. He's good. He's good.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that.
Um,
Strange music, y'all.
yeah. What's another one? I know I've got. There's that, and then there's who else? I've been listening to a lot of Da Baby. You know.
Okay, yeah.
There's Hope X, which is one more of the trap style, like rave type music, and then Noax, and then Noixus, and then Fabian Missour. Those guys are good. I love them.
What about a vocalist?
A vocalist? I would say Fabian Missour, because he's a vocalist,
Okay.
and he's like, he makes like bounce music, like, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like goes hard in the club, stuff that goes hard in the club. Yep.
Yeah.
He's
That
very
guy.
good. Mhm.
That's what's up. All right. Well, I think, is there anything that else that you might want to cover? Anything you might want to tell anybody before we end up? Any songs that you would recommend besides the one or two?
Definitely check out some of Fabian Mazur's song. Fabian space Mazur. He's so good. He makes a whole bunch of different genres too, which
Oh,
is good.
sweet.
And but his main one is like bounce. It's like a subgenre. Oh my gosh, I can't talk.
You're fine.
It's like a subgenre. It's of regular trap. It's just
Yeah.
like it's stuff people twerk to, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, shaking the booty.
Yeah. Yep. But hopefully he can get my a link to my SoundCloud so you guys can take a listen down in the description.
Yeah, he's gonna help me with this as soon as this is done being recorded. We're gonna pop the microchip into my laptop and get everything set up before he takes off back home. So look for it in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I just have to type it in there and you guys look it up, one way or another, that'll be in there. So check the description. If you guys, you know, leave some song and, you know, leave me your favorite song. I'm actually going to ask you guys to do that. Comment your favorite song so that I can listen to it. Comment the song that will allow me to know you better after I hear it. And I promise you, I will listen to it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what genre. Share with me who you are.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to recommend a song for you guys today, it would be The Best Day by Atmosphere. I love it. It is hip-hop from Minnesota. Old school, classic, heartfelt, conscious hip-hop. And it literally talks about taking the best in every day. It's amazing. So once again, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Keep the conversation going. And let me know if you want Josh to come back. You know, we can talk about more music, have updates on his future projects. Let's keep the conversation going, guys. So as always, from me to you, be blithesome and live life with a smile. I love you guys. Bye.